Good day, my name is Petr Andreev. So I would like to tell you about how we launched DNSSEC for top-level domains and our management and our guidance. So it was in cold autumn of 2009, and we decided that the time came to launch this project. We thought how to do it, and then at the beginning of 2010 we created a small test lab and started to try various options, looking at different software, different algorithms, and different signatures. And it ended up in 2011 when we signed SU. After signing SU, we understood that we should go forward, following our Western colleagues, and implement a bit different approach. The matter is that we initially created the. Initially, we made such a layout that the signature server stored all the signatures, and it was not right, but it was our deadline, and it took us another year to, so to say, remodel this layout, and now, as an outcome, finally, we have this traditional, commonly accepted layout. So how it looks from a technical point of view. So there are two sites in Moscow and St Petersburg. Both of them has a registry database. Each registry database communicates with each signature server, and they all could replace one each other. And every location also has DNS master server. So as you can see, that signature server does not communicate with the DNS master. We did it with purpose, first of all, to limit access to that signature server. And secondly, in the registry database, we accumulate all the logic of the process. I mean, after the file zone is uploaded to the signature zone and signed there, then it is returned to the server, where all the created entries also are stored in the database. That's why we spent much less time for reassigning the particular zone, and in the process of implementation, we created several roles. In particular, we have crypto operators. These are people who store so-called HSMPCs, which are the kind of core elements. Then we have crypto officers, who contains USB tokens with passwords to the storage. Then there are zone administrators setting up technical parameters for DNSSEC, and these are independent observers who watch it, who monitor it, and then tell everybody that everything's fine. So all these things, they work in such a way. Crypto operators, they open up HSMPC, which is, so to say, stored and sealed and protected with various electronic means. So if any configuration changes are detected, you cannot then start it. So crypto operators are responsible for storage of those HSMPCs. Then always crypto officers and independent observers, they generate case, and then open up of this key is placed into the registry. Then the administrator of the zone creates takes this closed key and create, and along with crypto operator, along with crypto officers, with all the passwords for the storage. They create a signed set of keys. This signed set of keys is sent to the registry database. Then it is uploaded to the server, to the signature server, along with and then so they uploaded to the registry, and then they finally got those keys. So these are our times. For KSK, the time set for KSK is 1 year. For ZSK is 3 months. So every 3 months, all those people, they should come together and re-sign and regenerate a new set of keys. And while developing the whole system, in particular, we created such a nice interface for HSMPC. Here you see first public key, public KSK for RU zone. On the other hand, it is already web interface to manage DNSSEC from the registry side. So through such an interface, all participating parties, including crypto operators, crypto offices, zone administrators, they can interact, so to say, fulfill their roles. And what we've got at the end. So there are some numbers, but what we've got, how much is signed of what we have, and what we use to sign them. The PSU numbers are there because their domains signed with quite a strange keys. They might have algorithm 9, which according to Ayana is a reserved one, and so on and so forth. It is also another result, and it's quite interesting. It shows increase of the traffic at the time of RU signing. By that moment of time, wouldn't expect that DNSSEC will be in use, will be required, so someone will use it, and such traffic surge was quite a mysterious thing for us. But explanation was quite simple. Per day, the whole DNS system answers about 4 billion of requests. It's such a arbitrary number, you know, because it goes plus minus a couple of hundreds of millions, and 70% of them, they have this DO bit, which is an explanation of such a traffic surge. And the leaders, what's interesting, the leaders are not global nodes, but local ones, which didn't go beyond IX, like Rostov-on-Don, for instance, we were quite astonished. And maybe it's not quite clear what happened. Is it just a statistical data? Is it is this number of 70%? Is just a decision, well-thought decision of communication provider, or maybe they just updated their DNS server. Here's a comparison. Two zones with not very high parameters, with not very high use of DNSSEC. These are RU and DE, and 3 zones with very high or highest deployment of DNSSEC. So such difference could be explained that neither RU nor DE has marketing advantages for DNSSEC. So DNSSEC was not promoted, so to say. So all results in CZ, NL, and BR, these are mostly related to marketing. It's not related to any technical means or technical need. And I'm coming to an end of my talk. So what should we do then? We think that our technical center should follow set procedures, and they shouldn't, so to say, violate them. I think that registrars should give more information about DNSSEC, at least at their websites, because it's very hard, even with information, with existing information, sometimes it's very hard to find it, even on the existing information on the website. And users, they should, so to say, look at the pros and cons. And so please stay at the stage. I do understand that that's the end of the presentation. So are there any questions from the audience? Because actually I do have some questions. Philip Kulin, the company Dремучий лес, so to say, faraway forest in Russian. So with DNSSEC, we as a registrar, we could registrars should tell about DNSSEC not to themselves only, because we don't have any registrar in Russia with whom we could use DNSSEC. Except for virtual registrators. None of the registrators provide software interface. None of the hosts will do DNSSEC manually. You know, for instance, if there is a registrar with software interface, and the number will be not 90 domains in RU, but it will be about 2,000, but I will not do it manually. It's just like an addition, so to say. Thank you. I have the following question. So you're signing Arizon through NSEC 3 opt-out as a signature of the zone. From the point of view of the process, it's not very long yet. No, not really. So hundreds of domains you can sign rapidly. So how your zone will work as fast as COM zone, for instance, with regard to refreshment, so to say. The problem is that we generate and upload completely the zone file, and the problem is that to switch to start dynamic refreshment, it's a large project. There are talks about it. We do understand it's in need, but at the moment, I'm not ready to tell you the time frame, so to say. I have kind of a, I don't know, it's a question or a recommendation. So based on our experience, because I'm a crypto officer generating keys for the root zone, you know, I'd like to see more publicity, more transparency, more openness. So, because how it was done, that was done, why it was done, something was redone somewhere, something manual was done, and so on and so forth. Because actually, you know, sometimes from the eastern or western, you can look at the translation from western or eastern parts of the states, but to see, we need to understand how well the processes are, so to say, written down or document. Because, you know, today, personally, I do have questions. I can't really recommend to use it. You know, we should start with transparency of the whole process. So, what's going to be next? It's a big question, but we shouldn't say that at the moment it is unsatisfactory. Well, we're moving to that. We're moving to be transparent. It is not in the mic. The comment is not in the mic. I'm sorry. I cannot hear. I will give us a following answer. We had several options. We wanted to take bears and gypsies and men in uniform with Kalashnikovs, take them to Kurchatov's Institute and make a video, then to take it to the internet and call it the procedure for .ru signing. Of course, it was a joke. I understand. I'm kidding, because we do understand that the procedure per se, it takes place in the highly guarded facility, but at least as observants, there are people whom you know quite well, and I do not understand why you do not trust them. Well, I don't know. The States, it goes in the Minister of Defense data center, and they do not afraid of broadcast it to the whole world. And I would like to add that sometimes you can go there. Anyone could come there, could be invited there to be present at the procedure, and there is no secrecy. The issue is the issue of trust, especially when we introduce new technology. Because, you know, when talking about the DNSSEC, the only argument for that was the following. We do trust to what, before that, we trust to what is in the root zone and in the other zones, but life showed that it doesn't last too long. People should trust the new procedure. And I would like to say that we made rather open procedure. We generated keys at the UADOM conference in December last year, and it was filmed. We had the video. We had a small page with the DNSSEC protocol introduction. So there is video available. But I have another question. Have you thought about the use of algorithmic curves? So what's your position about that? Well, our position is as follows. We do accept about GHOST. Yeah, our position is we do accept GHOST and hash produced GHOST-based hashes. We take 3 types of hashes in our registries: is SHA-1, SHA-2, and GHOST. But I mean the RU zone. With RU zone, we're trying to use commonly, so to say, accepted or well-known algorithms. Roman Sokolov, Most Telecom. It's rather practical question. Do you have statistics on the work of your system since you started to sign RF domains with regard to refusals? Because in our case, the refusal which you had when signing the RF zone, which was unavailable for several days, it resulted that we had to switch off the DNSSEC for all the users. So we cannot consider this a sufficiently reliable service. I could tell you that the time since the signing of all 3 zones is not enough, from my point of view, for collecting statistics and for to say that we have some statistic data. At the moment, what I can tell you, that at the moment it was the only case, because the DNSSEC failure is much worse for users as usual DNS. So that was the only case when we had this problem. But it hit well good domains. I cannot hear you well. It was a big problem for very good domains. Okay, clear. Thank you. More questions? I have a comment. Dima, when you say that you don't trust this procedure, I understand that you're talking like a registrar because you're working in RU center. No, it's as to my experience, because even with the procedure, because it's going to be changed and improved on signing the route, there are lots of issues to be discussed publicly and in an open way. So I want what happens in our country regarding our national zones. I want to discuss it only in a public fashion. There is no problem with that, but we need to do it. We need it. There's no problem with that, because since the procedure is the Kurchatov's Institute, it doesn't mean that you cannot broadcast it or do something with that. Actually want to have the offer from those interested parties regarding better transparency, and I don't see any problem with that. So you're welcome, naturally. Okay, and on the other hand, if there are, thanks, Peter.